How are you getting on, folks? I think today was safe to say not one of the better days. Although we did have a very nice nap winning at 9-4. If you were all, I suppose, backing at equal stakes on all the horses, just wasn't our day at the end of the day. But we have to take the good with the bad. Um, we've had a great run of form, and if we can pick up where we left off, um, it should really, I suppose, be more beneficial to us than most. Today was, I suppose, reality check more so than anything else, that we don't always come out and profit and don't always have days where we have three, four, or five winners. But um, yeah, the storyteller at 9-4, it was a great win at the end of the day. Papong, I thought was a little unlucky, just a couple of jumping errors. Possibly would have maybe gone on to win, but it's easy to say that in hindsight now. It just wasn't a better horse in the day. Um, I did have my worries with a wave of the sea, as you all probably knew. But look at we're going to kick on anyway. Tomorrow, I can honestly say I don't think it's going to be the day that we're going to get back up and running again. Hopefully it will, but for the people that are following the YouTube page for a considerable time, you will know that my Tramore form is absolutely woeful. If you're going to be having a bet tomorrow, I would suggest very small stakes. Really and truly, tomorrow isn't a day to go lashing out the money that we've won. Um, if you must know, all I'm doing is euro bets, and for the nap of the day, I've €2.50 on it. That's all I'm doing. I'm not going to go too bad. I think 8.50 is for the whole day is what I'm spending, and that's all I intend on spending as well. Just the fact that I can't seem to pick a winner for Tramore at all. Before we get into it, I want to draw your attention to this little baby here. The hacked up Road to Cheltenham book for 2021. Uh, a few people might know that I purchased this book last year for, say, the previous season gone by. It really helped everyone out in terms of picking winners for the Cheltenham Festival this year. I think there was something along the lines of, I think, 12 or 13 winners that came out of it that were mentioned in the book. Um, for I suppose for people that have got it and haven't got it, you'll know that I actually got a very nice mention in the cover page. So Lloyd, thanks very much for that. Another exciting thing is I will be using this book. Say in the next couple of days, there's going to be a couple of days where there's no Irish National Hunt racing, and I'm going to be, I suppose, making hay while the sun shines and giving an early, I suppose, anti-post video for Cheltenham. And I definitely think that this is going to help an awful lot of people out. Whether you're a newcomer to the betting side or whether you're, I suppose, a seasoned veteran, it's always a great read, and I've had a quick look through it already. It's definitely got some very interesting facts, and without a shadow of a doubt, it's going to be very, I suppose, efficient for people that are going to be having a bet in next year's Cheltenham Festival. But anyway, we may as well kick things on anyway. Tomorrow at Tramore, the first race of the day at 1:10, we're going to go with an each way shout here now with Take All, currently trading around 11-2. Alan King takes the ride here today, £7 claimer, a very good friend of mine. I got to know him through Stephen Mahan, who the two of us worked with there. Well, I was only doing it for a couple of months, in my pursuit of becoming a jockey, but that never materialised, nor it never will materialise. But yeah, Take All, it's for the Seamus Fahey Yard. It was fourth last time in Clonmel, or not Clonmel, Kilbeggan. I think it was over 2 mile tree. It was behind Curlew Hill and the eventual winner. I can't remember who it was, but I know Curlew Hill was just touched off in the line. He was only, I think, 12, 13 lengths behind him that day. This doesn't look to be the strongest of races. When you think about it, I suppose dropping back to 2 miles is a slight worry, but Tramore is a very, I suppose, up and down track. It's an awful lot more up and down than Kilbeggan would be. So when you pull it all together, you're really looking at, I suppose, maybe a drop in a furlong or maybe 2 furlongs when you're considering the rising the rising ground and the dropping ground and everything else like that. Around Tramore, it should be fairly all right for it. Although Kilbeggan and Tramore definitely seem to be very, very similar tracks. It's very lightly raced. It's only had I think a handful of races, or at least the amount of races that it's had. It's only, I suppose, had enough that you could count on, I suppose, one hand or two hands anyway, at least. It should be well weighted. It's not the best of races, and if Alan King can get the same swing out of it, it should definitely get into places tomorrow. Hopefully, with the help of God. Alan is waiting for his first winner, and there is no one who would love to see him have a winner more than myself. So, Alan, if you're looking at this, the very best of luck to you tomorrow, and Seamus Fahy as well. 145. We're going to go to the next best of the day now. We're going to go with Shedding at 7-2. Cast your minds back to Clonmel when, unfortunately, Jordan Canavan when he was tanking along in front, just got carried out by a loose horse. He's lost a ride today. I was actually very surprised to see it, but I'm not going to go into too much detail. I'm going to send Jordan a message a little later on. But I was very disappointed actually to see him getting jocked off. I don't think it was worthy to jock him off, but at the end of the day, look, at owners and trainers have to do what they have to do. Dara O'Keefe takes the ride instead now. Dara is a very, very seasoned young lad, and he definitely has an old head and young shoulders. He can mix it with the best of them. He's definitely one of the best jockeys in Ireland currently at the minute, and I definitely think this horse is very much well in. It should be very, very hard to catch at 7-2, and it definitely should run a very big race. 218, we're going to go with another each-way shout here now. We're going to go with Pictures of Home at 7-1 for the Ted Walsh yard. Luke Dempsey takes the ride here now today. It was fifth last time out. I think it was something like 12 lengths behind the eventual winner, something along them lines. I can't be 100% sure, but this is very, very likely raced. It should be well in here now. It's not too, I suppose, severely weighted at the end of the day. Experience should bring about improvement, and I definitely think 7-1 is a great each way shout, and hopefully with the help of God, it should be able to run on for a place. Now the 253, we are going to go with Tiantu as our nap of the day, currently trading around 11-4. This horse absolutely loves it here around Tramore. It's won once already. I think it's placed another time, and it was well down the field when unfancied this particular day. It's reverting back over hurdles now. It's never won a hurdles race before, which is a slight concern. But the fact that it's won on track already, and the fact that it's in the form of his life this season, also has to be considered. There's a £7 claimer on board who's currently 3 from 53 as a, I suppose, strike rate. In terms of claimers, that's not too bad going. There's an awful lot of, I suppose, young claimers out there that haven't actually won a race, and they could be racing 2 or 3 years now at this stage. At the end of the day, you have to take the winners into consideration as well. She definitely looks to be great value for her claim. £7 off this Tianta, who is going off on a lower hurdling mark than he was chasing, and with the £7 with the further £7 off his back, it's definitely, I suppose, one to very much consider. I think hopefully it's more frustrating to follow than most here. I definitely think Tiantu definitely has the better form when you put it all into consideration. Although hopefully has had some very good runs the past twice, particularly behind Arthur's Baby in Listowel last time out. But the fact that cheek pieces are fitted now, I still have my doubts. I definitely don't think it's worthy of favouritism. I think this Tiantu definitely is. And 11-4, it should be well entitled to go on and win a race here now today. 3:28, we're going to go with Yeza at 7-2. Another one for the Burke Yard with Darragh O'Keefe taking over. At the end of the day, look at this horse. Absolutely loves it around Tramore. It's won and second its last two times, and furthermore, its current, I suppose, form around Tramore reads 1-9-1-2. So at the end of the day, there's a win on the cards, and that second, he was just touched off last time out. I definitely think it's between the first two. I think it's a long, long road, and Yeza are the two up at the top of the market. It's a long, long road is currently trading around 9-4, and this Yeza is currently trading around 7-2. So when you're looking at value, obviously look at Yeza is the more value at the end of the day. I definitely think there's not going to be too much between them. I think for the sake of your own money, you're going to get plenty more excitement coming from Yeza at 7-2 than, I suppose, looking at a 9-4 favourite and seeing a 7-2 shot come up on its outside and possibly just nab it on the line. Like I said, Darragh O'Keefe is in tremendous form of late, and yeah, I definitely think this Yeza should definitely put in a very, very good effort. Now 4:03, we're going to go with Scully's Dream at 9-2. We tipped this up last time out. I think it was around Kilbeggan before it was pulled out of the race. I think personally, when I see something like that, and when I see a horse, I suppose, coming into another different or a different race that has shorter odds, it definitely looks to be that the particular horse has, or the particular connections have found a better opportunity for it, and I definitely think it's here now today. It's definitely well experienced. The track suits front runners. If you're a good front runner, and you set off in front, it's definitely very, very hard to peg you back. And this Scully's Dream it's run some very, very good races in the feet. If it gets off, I suppose, and sets off at a fairly decent pace with a fairly easy lead on its head, it should be very, very hard to peg back. And I definitely think 9-2 is great value here now in this race. It's I suppose depending where you are, it's at an each way price in some places. Maybe some places are offering 5-1, where I suppose then it's at an each way price all over. But yeah, this Scully's Dream should definitely run a very, very good race, and I think it'll be very hard to peg back. Finally, then the last race of the day, we're going to go with Powerful Out at 4-1, taking a little bit of a chance here now. Coming up against the Gordon Elliott favourite here. I think it's 4-7 on, I think. But at the end of the day, when you're looking for value, this Powerful Out definitely holds an awful lot of cards than most. It definitely looks like it's going to be the main danger for this Harmundison. Whether it's going to win or not, I don't know. But in some places, you will find an each way market for it. So definitely, I would try and find a place that's offering a quarter the odds and therefore backing it each way. I definitely think look at the race is there for Harmundison to lose, but it does have a tendency to absolutely flop. It did in his last run anyway. I know this Powerful Out has done since, but John Kiley loves to get his winners around here, and particularly the bumpers as well. I definitely think that it's going to be well schooled and well trained for it. I think it's going to put in a very good run, and 4-1 is a great price potentially for an each way squeak. I definitely think come race time it should. If it drifts out even more, you should be backing it each way, but keep an eye on the market. If there's market support for it for a local yard, that's going to be very much interesting at the end of the day. It should. I'd be very much expecting it if there's money on, that it could go out and win, but it's facing a very tough task here now. But yeah, don't write this John Kiley off, and this Powerful Out could definitely prove to be a bit of a shocker now tomorrow. I'm going to leave it there. That's all the racing covered. Hopefully, I'm not too confident, to be quite honest with you. I'm very skeptical any time Tramore is on. I don't normally bet a hell of a lot. If I do, I don't normally stray over a tenner for the whole day. But hopefully, with the help of God, this bad run of form won't last too long, and hopefully we'll be able to get a couple of winners tomorrow, and I suppose bring a little bit of spark back into the Peaky Bloggers tips. If you can do so, you can take a look at the World of Sport website. There was a few, I suppose, tips that were knocking around on there now today. I didn't get a good look at them myself because we had a couple of things to do in my personal life, but look at, hopefully with the help of God, they'll be back absolutely smashing out the winners like they always do anyway, and hopefully we'll be back again by, I suppose, later on in the week, or hopefully next week. I'll leave a link in the description below for the World of Sport. As well as that, I'm going to leave a link to the website for this Road to Cheltenham book. As well as that, there's an app on not just the App Store on say for iPhones or anything like that. There's another, I suppose, app in there on the Google playlist for the Android phones and everything else like that. Please make sure to keep liking, sharing, and subscribing. We'll hopefully be back on winning terms again now tomorrow. And look, if you're going to be having a bet, go small, please. Don't go too mad. The very best of luck anyway, and hopefully we'll be back in the winner's enclosure very, very soon.